Now, at the same time, the leadership dispute between two factions of the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims, Supkem, is set to escalate into a full-blown wrangle after courts issued orders reinstating the Yusuf Nzibo-Led faction to assume office.
Well, the court order secured late Friday also freezes the council accounts, stopping the current office holders led by Hassan Nado from transacting business. Nado has, however, vowed to stay put until a case filed to determine the Bonafide office holder is heard and determined.
Council.
It all started with this letter dated January 25th. The letter, with the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims letterhead titled Change of Leadership at Supkem from the office of the ousted national chairman Yusuf Nzibo. Nzibo's return is informed by a letter from the Registrar of Societies to their lawyers, Messrs. Kuso and Advocates, dated January 23rd, that recognized the 2017 lineup when Nzibo was elected as a national chairman. In the letter, Nzibo notes that Hassan Nado is no longer the leader of Supkem, as he was a masquerader who imposed himself as the chairman. He further directs Nado to vacate the council offices as he is ready to take charge on January 26th. However, on the day that Nzibo was set to take over office, Nado's team stayed put and defended their leadership.
Mr. Nzibo's letter claiming to be the bona fide national chairman should be ignored and be treated with contempt it deserves. Hence, we call upon any member, partner, associate or friend of Supkem who may have received the said letter claiming that Nzibo is the national chairman of Supkem to ignore that letter. The leadership of the Supreme Council has instructed our lawyers to initiate a contempt of court proceedings against Mr. Nzibo.
However, Nzibo's function is reported to have secured yet another order allowing them to assume office effective Monday. It all started back in November 17, 2019, when the National Executive Committee of Supkem resolved to suspend Nzibo from his position as chairman, a decision that Nzibo challenged in court, arguing that his removal was illegal as it did not follow the laid-down procedures. A matter has remained active in court after a mediation attempt which could have seen Nzibo withdraw the matter failed to bear fruit last year. After Nzibo's departure, Naado, who had been co-opted as an NSC member back in 2017 and who had been proposed by Nzibo to his deputy in 2018, when the then deputy chairman Abdullahi Sirat passed on, took over the helm of the council in an acting capacity. In this letter dated November 18, 2019, and signed by Nado, it stated that his elevation was sanctioned by a resolution of the National Executive Committee at a meeting held on November 17, 2019, when Nzibo was relieved of his duties, a claim disputed by the Nzibo-Led faction. 3 years later, Naado and other top officials made changes to the list of Supkem's national office bearers submitted before the Registrar of Societies. The changes were made, and through a letter dated March 31st, 2023, Naado is recognized officially as Supkem chairman. Following the changes, Salim Omar and advocates wrote a protest letter to the Registrar of Societies alleging that there was an unlawful and procedural and fraudulent change of Supkem's national office bearers. They argued the last time Supkem held elections was back in 2017, when the changes were contrary to Supkem's constitution, as fresh elections sought to have been held in 2020. The Registrar of Societies wrote to Naado's team to respond to allegations within 14 days, but the Naado-led faction ignored the Registrar's demand. This led to the Registrar's decision to expand the record of the annual returns for the year 2019-2022, which were all filed at the end of 2023 after failing to make the returns for 4 years. The registrar had also directed them to conduct an AGM, furnish them with a true and complete list of its officers and members, and file the annual return for the years ending 2019, to 2022 within 60 days. Naado's team were opposed to the decision and asked the registrar to rescind the decision to expunge their details. They moved to court and an order was issued for the status quo to remain until the matter was heard and determined. With the announcement of yet another legal battle between the two sides, it seems the fight for the control of the council is far from over.